'Tis the year 2016. 16. Happy New Year from Tuhon And Son. I'm Ryan Stick-Sheldon.
And I'm Tuhon Film Shelley.
And I clearly have had too many energy drinks. Let me tell you a little something about energy drinks, Dad. You know, sometimes I dabble in the acting thing. Sometimes it goes good. Sometimes it goes bad. But I have won auditions. You know, I am in the show Ascension that you can watch on Netflix if it's still there or something like that. I'm in there for about 5 seconds. You know, have a couple of lines, get the crap kicked out of me. But I also nailed this job on this cop show called 19-2, and I played this hobo guy. And I'll give you a little bit of a story that turns into why the hell I'm talking about this. Okay, so I originally went in for a guitar player, and it's funny because I ended up running into this audition. I ended up running into the person who was directing the session was Jason, your buddy Jason, who does the stunts. We've talked about him with Kevin Calso. He was telling the stories about that Not 300 movie, Immortals. Anyway,
Immortal 300.
yeah. So everyone's asking, why the hell are you bringing this up? Well, anyway, what happened was they're like, okay, it's an opening casting call. Be like, we need a guitar player for a TV show, someone to mime stuff.
It's Jason LaBeouf.
All right, Jason LaBeouf. Anyway, so and our family friend Don Ford said, hey, you should try this out. And I'm just like, all right, whatever. I'm not much of a guitar player, but let's see. So I read the description. It says, it's like an opening band for Metallica. Okay. A really cool indie rocker type. A what? And you're gonna play "Why Can't This Be Love" by Van Halen.
So you're a cover band that's supposedly an indie cover band. How about
indie that? Van Hagar cover band. And I'm kind of like, hey man, like Metallica and indie aren't the same thing, but I'll tell you something. Someone opening up for Metallica would not be playing "Why Can't This Be Loved" by Van Halen, because out of all the Van Halen catalog, this one has the most synthesizers out of all of them. Like, so I spend days trying to learn this thing and stuff like that, because there's this part in the middle that actually requires talent where Eddie Van Halen becomes Eddie Van Halen, and it goes do 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 do, and I'm like, I spent all this time trying to learn this part, like do 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 do, and I can't play lead guitar. You know, I'm a bass player who takes it easy. You know what I mean? So here I am trying to learn this, and I'm going to work, and I just remember freaking out and be like, do I bring my acoustic, my electric, all this kind of stuff? I get to the place, and there's Jason LaBeouf, and he plays me what I'm supposed to do, which is freaking acoustic finger picking. It's not even how that Van Halen song could even translate into the vibe of finger pick. If I just spent the last couple of days practicing my finger picking, maybe I would have had a chance in hell. Plus, I'm wearing a leather jacket, my hair's spiked up, and I'm like, and I kind of just smirk.
Why can't this be indie?
Yeah, and I'm just smirking at the camera, right? I'm just like, you know, like, I know this is ridiculous. So, needless to say, I don't get it. But based on how I've inherited I'm looking at them right now. I'm looking deep inside them. Your natural, tired-looking eyes, except your tire is authentic because you've lived a long and fruitful life, full of adventure and hard work and mom. So clearly you're exhausted. But, you know, I've kind of looked like this even when I was a teenager. Like, everyone's like, oh, my God, you never sleep. And when I'm a teenager, oh, my God, you must be stoned. And neither was true. I loved sleeping when I was a teenager. And, you know, I'm not a drug guy. I'm really not. And I'm going to emphasize why when I get to the end of this little tale. So what happens is they call me in to be a stone guy. And I'm like, all right, well, I wasn't good enough to be a guitar player, but apparently I look stoned enough to try this out. So the good people at Kenyon Wells Casting contact me, and they're like, why don't you try to be stone guy? And I'm like, I don't get stoned, so I'm just trying to think. My buddy who is addicted, I'm not going to say his name out here because I don't want to call him out or nothing, but my buddy is addicted to reefer. Like, if I've been on road trips with him, we filmed together, we've been in cars for 5 hours. He should smoke, because when he doesn't, he becomes the Incredible Hulk, you know? Like, I mean, it's like the big green machine smoking the green to keep the green out. So, you know, I'm always at his place, and sometimes, inevitably, I, you know, feel the effects of secondhand stuff. And when it happens to me, I don't like it because it distracts me. I feel like my brain is 5 televisions on at once, and for some reason I can pay attention to all of them. But the smoke literally is smoke inside my head, and I can't see the TVs or someone standing in front of me trying to talk to me. That's what the effect of marijuana does to me. So, needless to say, I'm not into drugs, and I don't do hard stuff, which, again, this point will be relevant later. So, I don't know. I went in, I tried to do it the best I could and stuff, but, you do what you do. So, then, when waiting for a callback to see if I got a callback, I was just about to give up hope, and I had grown my hair kind of long out of apathy, not out of style, and I grew kind of a beard out of apathy, not out of style. I just kind of gave up on myself for a little bit, coincidentally, around this stoner time. I'm like, well, I can't shave now. They might want me to be the stoner. So I don't get the stoner rule, but I get another message from Canyon Casting, and they're like, hey, we want you to come and try to be a homeless guy. So clearly, I'm not good enough to be some guitar player. I'm not good enough to be high, but
Falling down the stairs of social
but
status.
I might be good enough to be a bum. So I said to myself, I'm going to give it the old college try. I had never really seen 19.2, but I do it. I do the best of I can. And the thing is, I work construction, so I have the benefit of going dirty. You know what I mean? Like sometimes people are method. I'm like, I go covered in crap. Like I'm literally covered in dirt. I'm wearing the same plaid, torn up jacket that I wear at work. So it's not like I have to be like, what in my closet could I possibly bring out to portray me being homeless, And so I go there, I do it, and I'm like, well, I screwed that up because I definitely feel like there's this one line that I wasn't intense enough. And then I get a call back, and I'm, all right. Now I'm distracted. I'm distracted by Guillaume, the Gamma Gatekeeper.
Yes.
That
sucks. That sucks indeed.
He's pulling a vacuum cleaner in there, so that's why that pun should be funny to people who are 64 years old. It's funny, this is called Tuhon And Son. So far, it's always been about the sun, but this is a story I just kind of felt like telling now, so I never have to tell again because it's on our podcast. And if you want to hear the story, this is how it happened. In West Philadelphia, born and raised on a playground's where I spent most of my days, chilling and relaxing, all cool, while playing some people outside of school. Well, a couple of guys who are up to no good started making trouble in my neighborhood. I got one little fight. My mom got scared and said, hey, go boycott the Oscars. Little topical joke there, but politics is not our run.
There's a will, there's a way.
Oh, what a wordsmith you are.
I was trying to work that one in, but you beat me to it.
Okay, so I do the callback, and the director's not there yet, but the other people are, some producers are and stuff like that. And I do one take where I'm like, okay, but they usually always give you 2. And so I do the take and stuff like that, and I'm literally like getting ready for the next take. I have the blankets over me and stuff like that, and I'm guessing just maybe the reason why this all worked out is because the director's first impression must have been like, holy crap, give that guy $1. Because they say action, and I'm it. I'm the guy. And I just get up out of the blanket. I'm not going to give away any dialogue, even though nothing I do pertains to a continuing story at all. It's just for anyone who watches 19.2 out there. I just want to, keep you guessing. And I'm sure I'm not the only homeless person in 19.2 that they talk to, because it's set in Montreal, and damn, we got him coming out of
the metro.
Yeah, we sweat homeless people. They're everywhere. So anyhow, I do it, and I call mom, and I'm like, I can't believe it. I just blew it. The director was there. He asked me to make it more intense, and I just don't think I did. I don't hear myself. Like, I guess maybe I should have unhingedly yelled and all that. I don't know. And I tell Melissa, I'm like, yeah, well, that was fun. Maybe I'll get the next one. So I spent an entire week telling everyone in my life that I didn't get it. And then I get this phone call. When my phone was on the fritz, Dad, I get this phone call. And I can't pick up the phone unless I plug earphones in it to hear. This is when my old phone was broken. And I see the casting place calling me, and I'm just like, okay, this means 2 things. I got it, or they're like, we need you to have someone dying of AIDS. So before I called them back, I checked the message, and this is my good friend Chris Sanford. He's a stand-up comedian in Montreal, runs a show in NDG at Cafe Shaka on Tuesday nights. I believe it's called the Ladies and Gentlemen Show, and he's just wonderful. He's a co-host. Anyway, so I hear his charming voice. And he's just like, Ryan, I just want to tell you that you got the role and stuff like that. And I was by myself with my headphone in my ear, just like all sweaty, trying to get my phone to work, screaming bloody murder at it. And I'm just like, and I kind of did the thing. I did, woo! I was by myself in the house and stuff. And so that's how I got the role. I'll tell the story of on set on another time because this is called Tuhon And Son. I think I've talked a little too much about the son.
I think so. A lot of times I can remember being the sole beneficiary of the microphone. So I don't feel bad about hearing your voice do a really good rendition of what you do every day. So
the reason why I'm bringing this up is that when I go to auditions, especially when I did get the role or something like that, I walked from me and Melissa's place all the way to the casting studio. This was an hour, and I did it semi in character because I don't have really any training.
$50 on the way over, right?
Yeah, I mean, God, it's not like people weren't offering me, Dad. This one time, I was just going into the metro around here, and some guy says, "Hey, man, do you want this sandwich?" And I'm like, I guess I need a haircut. Jeez. So yeah, that's when I realized I'm like, ooh, better step it up.
Yeah, I have not a similar story because I haven't gone for an audition, but it's funny because sometimes I get on the metro and these very nice young girls smile at me, and you think, oh, they're smiling at me, and then they offer me their seat. And it's
that's not because you're a bum, Dad. That's because you're old.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like,
I'm a member of the Canadian Black Bat Hall of Fame, you ignorant bitches. All right, the reason why I'm bringing this up, Dad,
you know who I think I am.
Yeah, the reason why I bring this up, and a whole story about this, and the reason why I walk to the audition stuff is because I'm a hack and I don't know what I'm doing, but it's the only way I kind of know how to really try everything I can because, don't have a university degree of acting. I haven't been in a Shakespeare company. I'm aware that you're supposed to say your lines on time. You're supposed to look like you feel what you're saying. And I take every road that I know of to get in the zone. But when I brought this up to Mom, I'm like, Mom, it sounds kind of lame, but I like being on the metro. I like being in my own headspace. And I like just being like, this is what's happening. Be ready for it. Don't be distracted. Just be, when they say this, you do this, because you're ready for it. You're not thinking, oh, and then I say this. It's just like, no, this happens. And Mom mentioned, yeah, before fights, your father, when he used to compete and stuff like that, he'd want to be by himself for a certain amount of time, kind of like get in the zone. Now, either this is going to be a cool story, or that was your polite way of telling Mom to shut up. I don't know.
No, actually, that's exactly what I used to do. I used to, it wasn't actually meditating because I don't really get into that stuff, but some kind of visualization sometimes. And the reason for this is because sometimes when you'd be there, you'd be so distracted by everything that was going around that you need to wait, to create it. So I would I would do a breathing exercise, and I would imagine that whatever was in front of me was a huge circle. And every time I inhaled, I gave that energy, and I exhaled, and it made the whole thing smaller and smaller. And so I was able to focus everything down to a pinpoint. And when you can concentrate that much, it's pretty easy to do what you have to do. And it wasn't like I was fighting at, world championship level. So it was, most of the people I was fighting with weren't that, they were good, but they weren't, as I said, they were also not at world champion level. And so, you could do your techniques or whatever, your feints, and you could score your points and you would win the tournaments. And we used to have a bunch of stupid trophies in the basement, which I eventually threw away.
Yeah, that's actually kind of nice that I grew up with these. All my heroes are kind of modest, So as much as I do like the David Lee Roth, over the top, yeah, man, we're the best band in town.
Just be loved.
Oh, that's Sammy Hagar.
Okay.
Get out of your gym. There's a big difference between Diamond Dave and Sammy Hagar. Like, we're getting higher. I don't know. I can't do a Sammy Hagar. He's got a crazy screaming voice. It's just,
Doesn't he have a bar in Mexico?
yes, and I want to go so bad. It's called Cabo Wabo. Looks so cool.
You know something? They used to have a Cabo Wabo tequila at Costco. And I say that because one day your mother and I were in Las Vegas at a Kajukenbo conference, and near our hotel there was a Costco. So we went over, and Serena had, I don't know how Teresa had asked us to pick her up a bottle of tequila. So
She was 7.
she was 8.5. Anyway, she asked us to pick up a bottle of tequila, and they had Cabo Wabo tequila, which was or Senor Wenzel. I don't know, was one of those things where they have a frog on the label, and they had this. They had this Mexican tequila. I guess it's all Mexican, but they had Mexican tequila, and it was a 40-ouncer for $4.97 because they wanted to get rid of it. That's what you do at Costco when you want to get rid of stuff. Everything ends with a 7. It's clearance price. So
Why can't this buy love?
exactly. Well, anyway, so we brought it back, and it was I mean, it wasn't. I don't know if it was the Don, whatever it's called.
Well, Cabo Wabo tequila. Yes, it is his, and he also has a rum now. I don't know why I know this, but I do. I listen to so many podcasts. That's how I get my information about the world. High school should be a podcast. Seriously, that would be crazy. All the teachers would be fired because if the curriculum was all on podcast forms, like people like learning like that. You know what it is? That when you. I guess, when someone comes here and they're like, I want to learn kickboxing, I want to learn Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I want to learn boxing, I want to learn knife fighting. It's a little different when you go looking for information than when it is kind of like, all right, you're going to learn kickboxing, you're going to learn Muay Thai, you're going to learn knife fighting, or you fail life. And you'll have to go around telling,
or you'll repeat it.
yeah, or you'll repeat it, and you'll have to go around telling everybody how you're a jiu-jitsu dropout.
I'm arm barred from ever working again.
Yeah, but did you find that had the information been thrust on you, you would have not have been as curious to the martial arts education that you've received all these years?
I think that it's curiosity value. Just the idea that it was esoteric and not very many people knew about it in those days. In the Ice Age. Anyway, so yeah, most people would look at me as if I was a bit of a nut, like they already did. So it was all right, and so I just was able to create the focus I needed. So it worked out for me.
All right. And I talked a ridiculous amount in this podcast, but I think we're going to try to keep it to 30 minutes because people have stuff to do. All you people have stuff to do. But you know what you can do? As much as we love the views, and please, I'm the interesting thing about my brain that doesn't make it work, and the only problem with you and Mom being the combination of my genetics is that I've inherited Mom's ability to want to talk to everybody, but I also at the same time think nobody likes me, like this self-deprecating man in front of me. So I put myself out there, and then quickly my own brain convinces me that no one likes me. So the fact that it's just more people in my brain to think I suck. And it's just sometimes my brain is a horrible place to hang out. You ever feel that way, Dad?
Oh God, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So anyhow, what I'm getting at is that every time you watch Tuhon And Son, that's awesome. Every time you make a comment, it's awesome. I read them. I pay attention. I pay attention to the views and stuff like that. I understand, because we're not a downloadable content, it's a little harder for everyone to stop what they're doing, and you don't want to use all your data on your phones. But the people who do, God, from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate, because it's a crazy world out there with lots of entertainment. I, for one, have 6 hours of superhero stuff to watch, and that's just stuff that's been on since Monday. I got Supergirl to watch. I got the Captain America special, the Justice League special, The Flash, and 2 episodes of Agent Carter. And this is not our show. This is...
You know, it's funny. Last night, I was trying to watch a bit of television, and I got up and I went downstairs. And so your mother asked me, why are you going downstairs? Oh, to watch television. Well, why don't you watch it in a sitting room? Well, because Ryan has 2 shows recording simultaneously for the next 3 hours. And she said, well, what does that mean? I said, well, the
TV's tired, honey.
No, the video recorder can only record 2 shows at a time. And if you record a third show or watch a third show, it just won't do it. So I had to do it downstairs where it's cold and there's no heaters and there's no furnace. So there's a furnace down there, but it doesn't leave any heat down there. It goes all upstairs.
Did you use your martial arts to fight off the cold?
No, I just wore thicker clothes.
Thicker clothes. That's what we need to get, Dad. We need thicker skin. But anyway, I don't know. We really appreciate everyone listening. We really appreciate everyone who watches technically, but it's mainly listens. And just on the end notes, no, I think that's it. I think this is a great episode. It's called Tuhon and Son's Tuhon's Son Never Shuts the Hell Up. That's what this episode's called.
You know what it is? It's the effect of that energy drink residually running on.
God, I still feel it. It's been 3 hours. So proceed with caution. If you drink Joker energy drink.
It's no joke.
Oh, it's our first unintentional sponsor. No, seriously, you will die. Don't drink it. All right. I am Ryan Stickjalna.
And I am Tuhon Philip Jelena.
And we are going away. I don't know this song I'm making up. I always do this. I start singing a song and then I realize I got nothing.
Well, why don't we just jump?
Goodbye, farewell. Yeah, might as well jump. That's David Lee Roth. It's not Sammy Hagar.
Yeah, I know that. I knew the difference.
Okay. No. You know what we're going to do? We're going to finish this podcast right now.
Okay.
Yeah. You're supposed to laugh, but clearly you're not familiar with Sammy's work besides his tequila and his Mexican accommodations. Thank you, and good luck, good night. Subscribe on YouTube, and have yourself a good day. And don't forget to check out the Philip Jelna's Academy of Mixed Martial Arts. That's Gamma, Jelna's Academy of Mixed Martial Arts at 514-281-9928
at 1117 St. Catherine West, Suite 222.
Check out MontrealMixedMartialArts.com for further details.